Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Earlier this week, I posted on Instagram that I was going to be drawing people's OCs for my first YouTube video. And I was only capable of doing 2 for this video, and I'm really sorry. Something that I honestly did not expect at all was that there are going to be so many OCs. Honestly, there are too many for me to do in just one video, so this is going to be multiple parts. So watch out and be ready to see me post those in the future, hopefully. I'm actually really proud on how those drawings turned out, and I actually really hope that you guys enjoy them as well. But without further ado, let me just skip on to the drawings because that's what you guys want to see. Not me rambling on and on about how I like these drawings. Anyways, let's go on to the drawings, and I hope you guys enjoy. For this first drawing, the original poster was Yui_Kibutsuki I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ow, I hit myself. Besides that, sorry about that. I'm recording in the family car because I find it awkward to talk. I already talk to myself as it is, but talking to myself to a tablet is a little too much. That's where I draw the line. But anyways, back to the drawing. I had a lot of fun with this drawing. It was the first one that I did, so it was a lot more entertaining than I thought it would be. The original poster who submitted this one did put under, like, in the description that these drawings aren't theirs. So I'm thinking somebody drew them, their OC, like they gave the description of the OC, and they had another person draw them. I think that's how it went, but either way, I had a lot of fun drawing this character. The lips here were a big problem. It took me a while to get them right, and I was so mad when I couldn't get the lips right. It was a whole thing. Also, you guys might notice that I sound a little weird. It's because I've been sick for the past few days. I'm feeling much better, which is good, but my voice might sound a little hoarse because of that. But anyways, back to the drawing for the second time in this video, because I'm not good at keeping track of myself. Something that you'll notice in these 2, like, drawings that I show is that I do not show the line art process, because, for me personally at least, the line art takes a lot longer than it should, because I stress out about, oh, this line isn't right, or this one isn't right, and I get very angry about that. So I'm sorry that if you guys wanted to see the line art process, it's not going to be in this video. The next video I'm planning on doing one traditional drawing and digital drawing. So not one digital drawing, a few digital drawings. What am I talking about? I can't speak apparently. But yeah, here you can see that I put a base color underneath because each character had like a main color that I wanted to focus on. This character had red undertone everything, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put a red base color so that I get the idea that basically everything's red here. And here I'm just putting in the flat colors with my watercolor pen brush thing that I don't remember the name of properly, but I do have the name of the watercolors that I use. I think are the Faber-Castell 24 pan set, half pan set. Here I'm adding shadows, and I don't really add deep shadows, but they do look deep in this lighting. My lighting sucks, so I'm really sorry about that. Of course, shadows to the clothing, making sure that it looks like fabric on a body is very important when it comes to drawing people, so unless you're drawing nude people. That's a whole other can of worms I don't want to get into right now. Anyways, back to the shadow thing. So I just like to add shadows here and there. I have a hard time seeing highlights because I want to be like, oh, it's because everything is in shadow and everything's dark and deep, and I need to be able to see highlight properly most times. Like, it's a weird way to describe it, but I need to plan out the highlights beforehand, so I know where they're gonna be. I did not do this for any of these drawings, so I'm happy with how they turned out, but I know I could have done a lot better in these drawings. Why am I always I always put down my art, because honestly, my art, there's a lot more I can improve of it. Like, there's, like, how I draw lines, how I do use shapes and forms. There's so much I can improve. And I'm happy with how my art looks now, but, like, compared to my old art. But just, I wish there was more I could do. And I'm pretty sure every artist has that they're like, oh, my art is good and I'm happy how it looks, but I wish I could do more. At least most artists. Other artists who are comfortable with their styles and how they draw things, I'm honestly very jealous of, because I wish I had that mindset. But me having been drawing for 5, maybe 6 years, I mean, at least drawing properly, I have had that mindset for a while now, especially because I think I've hit the point of my art where I'm like, this is gonna stay like this for a while until it finally goes up again. So I'm hoping that up is sooner rather than later. But yeah, here I'm adding shadows to the main portrait, adding deeper shadows to add more depth. These are the bluish tint that I used, because blue and red for me look really nice together. Whenever I do a warm drawing, I always use cold shadows, or whenever I do a cold drawing, I always use warm shadows, because I think it looks nicer that way because of the sudden and subtle contrast of it. Like here you can see that I'm adding color to the lips because I forgot to do that earlier. But yeah, that's how I started out this drawing. It's slowly advancing to how I like it. See, here is I'm just adding the shadows, making sure they're not too dark, but dark enough. Sometimes I have a hard time with this, and it's just a blob of shadow. Like I said, I need to plan out the highlights beforehand, but I didn't do this for this drawing, so it kind of looks like a little bit of a mess at first, but it'll look a little better once the highlights are added. Here, same thing, just adding shadows. Honestly, I'm really happy on how this drawing turned out. Like I said at the start, I just didn't know how I felt right after I finished it. But after a little while of waiting and looking around, I was like, oh, this is actually not that bad. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to cough. These paints, honestly, are some of my favorite things right now. My sister bought them for me. They're handmade, I don't know the word, shiny watercolor paints. Shiny is the only word I can think of right now. But they have glittery stuff in it, and I really like them. And I haven't really used them for in the drawing besides the backgrounds, and I really like how it looks with the backgrounds. So that's why I added it here. They're handmade. I don't know, she got them at a farmer's market in her city, her town. It's a city. And she just hey, I bought you these, and I'm like, oh, thank you. So yeah, here I'm finally adding the highlights to the whole drawing. I just use Walmart acrylic paint. I don't remember what it's called, apple barrel thing. And you can see here I use a technique where while the paint is still wet, I rub it on the painting so it lightens slightly and it spreads a little more. I do this often when it comes to using my acrylic paint. I'm hoping I get a gel pen soon so that I don't have to do this that often. But I like the texture that the acrylic paint gives it. It gives it a nice faded, but a burst of color that it honestly needed from the start. And of course, the highlights are very important, at least in my art, because it genuinely separates what certain parts are. It separates certain textures, it separates certain values. So it's very important for my art, or at least in my brain, for my art to have that pop of color. And I'm really proud on how the acrylic paint looks here. There I go again. But here's the finished product, and the picture is kind of edited a little more so you can see the colors, but there it is. The next drawing was sent in by Yoshiko Love, and their character was honestly so cute. I loved it. Their character is like a little like angel creature, and I thought they were so cute. I had so much fun drawing this character. As you can see, I did like a little like floaty pose because they're like a little angel character, and I had so much fun drawing this. And another factor on why I had so much fun was because I was watching One Piece on the side. The whole videos are like muted so that you don't hear the whole like commotion of One Piece or me talking to myself while I paint, but I was watching One Piece, just so you know. I love One Piece. It's probably going to be one of my next videos, just drawing One Piece characters and nerding out about One Piece. Have you guys seen the live action? This is just me talking about my hyperfixations at this point. Have you guys seen the live action? Put that in the comments below. What did you think about it? I thought it was really good. My favorite is Taz Skylar. I love Taz Skylar. He did wonderful as Sanji, and he will forever be one of my favorite actors. That is written in the books. In my books. In my rules and laws of my brain. He is incredible. Anyways, back to the drawing. Here I'm adding, of course, the base colors, the skin color. I forgot to add the skin color earlier on, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot this character has skin. So I went back, added skin color. Honestly, the color scheme surprised me, because in the first drawing that they sent in, like, because they sent two, or like, of the same character, the first one was just black and white, like, pencil sketch, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if they sent in the color scheme. I, like, slide over, and I was surprised that this was the color scheme. Like, it's a really good color scheme. Red and green honestly go well together, because of how, I forgot the name of what they're called, how, like, they're across from each other on a color wheel. That. I really like how red and green look together. It's something that I've always enjoyed, or as a color scheme, so I got really happy when I saw the color scheme. Here I'm adding shadows. I wish I had added the shadow on the wing a little differently, to add like more pop of color in the feathers, or certain feathers, but I'm not angry. I'm just very disappointed on how I did it. But besides the point, here, I actually really like how this face turned out. I wish I'd done more red in the hair, but besides that, I am really proud on how this turned out in general. I think this one, I think this one's my favorite out of the two that I did. Well, technically I did three, but we're not talking about that right now, or I guess we could talk about that right now. I had originally made 3 drawings for this video, but the editing, I was so tired. I'm like, you know what? I give up. Let's just do 2 drawings. I'll add the 3rd one in for the next video, and then I'll do like 4 digital drawings for the next video, because I have a lot to do. And school is happening too. I forgot I'm in school. High school's awesome. Now, the character didn't really have an eye color. That's something that I do want to point out. The character didn't really show an eye color in like the color scheme, and I'm like, oh, what color should I add? What color do I like about this character that I should add in the eyes? And so I added the yellowish, orangish of the wings, because I thought it looked nice, and I really wanted it to look cohesive in a way. As you can see here, I'm putting in purple shadows this time, because I put in, or like at least because the main color of this painting, which was green, is a cool color, I decided to use a kind of cool toned purple, but more of, it was still warmer compared to the green, to add that contrast in shading, like I said previously, with the other drawing, and how I added blue to contrast the red. This one was the one that I was kind of like, the shadows don't look great. I wish I did better on them, but honestly, like I said, this one turned out to be my favorite one out of the 2, and I'm honestly not mad. Here I go again with those shiny purple, shiny, I used purple for this one, but the shiny watercolors that I absolutely love. Thank you to my sister I don't want to say her name on here because I don't know if she'll allow me to say her name, but thank you to my sister. She's probably watching this. But okay, here I go back with the highlights again, and the eyes, the lips, the hair. Honestly really proud on how the highlights look on this one. That's probably why I love it, or this one's my favorite. The highlights were incredible in this one. I'm proud of myself. Gotta give myself a high five for that one. Awesome. I look crazy talking to myself in a car, a tablet in my lap, a microphone in my hand. I'm so cool, guys. I'm sure you guys know that I'm so cool. I'm incredible. I'm awesome. I have so many friends. Okay, so, honestly, the shading... Okay, so there's a specific part that I was really proud on the highlights for this. Right there, right there, right there, right there. Oh my gosh, right there. The corset highlights. I was so happy on how they turned out because I don't know why. Just the way that I lined the edge and then put in a little line there. It was beautiful. And then here's the finished product. I'm so proud of it. Look how pretty it is. The lighting in the video sucks, but I'm so happy. But that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed my first ever YouTube video. It's not the best video, not the worst, but I do think that it's going to be the start of something cool for my art and something cool for you guys. So thanks for watching.